A new week. It's my 10th week of the build. This is my last 2 weeks that I have available for solid work. Last week was a bit of a mess. If you haven't watched the video, go back and watch it. But I guess a few things did get achieved. Firstly, I got the solar panels on the roof, so I've got all 5 panels mounted up there on the roof racks that I made up as well, so I saved myself a good $1,200 there. I got the bikes fitted in, albeit very badly, but they do fit in there at least, so at least I can carry them. And we got all our plumbing leaks sorted out. That was the biggest drama for the entire week. It took about 3 days and eventually gave in and ripped the entire plumbing system out and redid the whole lot. So you see it's all fitted with residential plumbing fittings and pipes now. So after such a disastrous week, I'm in desperate need of some instant gratification, so I'm going to go fit all the cupboard doors today. And oh look, that's that roll of tape I was looking for. So we're down to our last 2 weeks of being in this house and have to move out. Resigning myself to the fact that it's going to be far from finished in that time frame. So my priority now is going to be trying to get some of the bigger bits of materials in place. So I've got all this panelling behind me here, which large sheets which can't really be transported when the removalists come. Gonna have to cut that up, hopefully get it fitted. Hopefully today my mattress is ready. I can go and pick up all the bits and pieces for that and get that in there, because we need the van livable for when we move out of this house. We are moving our stuff up to my mum's place. We're going to store a lot of our furniture there, but we've got to get there as well. It's 1,000 k's away, so we're anticipating an overnight stop, so at least we'd like to have somewhere to sleep. The kitchen cupboard doors are pretty easy because we've already fitted up the hinges and everything for these. Cupboard doors made quite a while ago, but it didn't get any holes drilled in them, so I got to do all that myself. Picked up the tool from Bunnings. Comes with this little template, so you can just mark out where your various holes need to go. 2 mountain holes and then 1 for the countersink part for the hinge. Basically got to cut this part down so that this sits inside the wood. I must say it's pretty scary, because if you go too far you break through the front face of the door and it's ruined. These hinges for the overhead cupboard are a bit of a mystery to me. I'm not really sure how to mount these, but I'm not going to open it because it snaps my fingers off with a spring on there. But I think if I just sort of use a 1.5mm spacer and then we just put that flush against the edge there, I reckon that's got to be a reasonable spot for it. Well, that's worked pretty well. So just a ooh, bloody hell. Adjust the tension on those. Just got to put the handles on now. So I've got these little half moon things, not the prettiest things on earth. I really don't like the style, but not a lot of choice. Just made myself up a little template to make sure I try and get them all in the right spot. Use a bit of scrap door here just to make sure that everything works. Now to go and knock some holes in my cupboard doors and pray that I get them in the right spot. Oh, and keeping with the theme of me not being able to complete this van in time and every single thing I touch turned to shit, these catches I've bought, as soon as you bolt them up, they jam up, and you can see quite clearly there that it's just not centered. The plunger is not centered in the damn handle. So I got the phone call, my mattress was ready to pick up, so I went and grabbed that. We also went and had a look at the various caravan supplies places that we have around here to see what alternative door latches were available. When we came back, Lexi insisted on having one last play with the knobs, and she put it together and it worked. Found out that if the little silver knob in the centre is loose, they actually work okay. As soon as you tighten that up, it jams up and doesn't work anymore. So the solution will be to glue those little knobs on the thread so they don't rotate. Tuesday morning, and we have cupboard doors with latches that actually work. Look at that, fantastic. And soft close as well. Actually, soft close is a bit of a fail because when you got to latch the doors shut, it's actually a pain in the butt when the doors close slowly. So while it looks fancy and everybody thinks soft close is awesome, which I did when I bought the hinges, it's a pain in the butt because had I not got soft close, they would probably latch by themselves. Going to try and get the shower base underway now, so just doing a cardboard template here, lots of lines all over it. What it exactly means, well, will come clear eventually. Again, no straight edges, and then I'm going to have 1 drain. I can't get 2 drains in because of all the structure under the floor. And I'm going to have this in 3 pieces, and it's going to slope in 3 directions and come down to the centre. So I'll make it out of wood, make it out of plywood, and then I'll coat the whole thing in fiberglass and put some gel coat over the top or some flow coat. So this is where we're at the shower base. So basically what we've done here, we've cut a piece of ply to fill that entire space, then sliced it into sections and built up the edges. So you see we built up the edges here to grade it down towards the centre, and the drain will be in here. So we've got our first coat of fiberglass down. It's a pretty thin coat and we didn't have enough resin to get around all the edges. Anyway, I'm going to do this in a few stages. Once this cures tomorrow, we'll give it a bit of a sand around the edges, and then we'll put the edge pieces on, and then we'll sand the whole lot and then put on a second coat of glass. Unfortunately, you only had waxed resin in the shop at the time, so we do have to sand between coats. Wednesday morning. Well, it's not actually morning now, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We've allegedly sold the Ranger Ute, so I had to drop that over to someone. Dropped it over to a dealer who wanted to buy it. Haven't got the money yet. Anyway, hopefully I can trust the dealer. So just prepping for the next coat on the fiberglass. There you go, giving that a few hours to set. Dropped it in place, and who would have thought, but it actually fits. So that's very encouraging. Thursday morning. So there's the shower base in. Once we put this in, I need to fiberglass a bit more around the wheel arch there, and a little bit around this corner here too. Not sticky anymore, so we're looking good. Next step is to flow coat that. So we're going to flow coat in there, obviously, because I've just glassed up that area there, so it can't come out anymore. The other thing we did last night too was start to upholster the bed cushions. So I've got a couple of them in place down there. Right, Friday morning. So the last several nights we've been spending time indoors after the sun goes down, just to start putting the bed together, do the upholstering, sewing the covers up and stapling them onto the wood. So just 2 pieces left to go. The last bit here is that flip out section on the bed. As for the van, we put the flow coat on the shower base now, so it's all looking nice and white. And this stuff doesn't give you a smooth finish, right? You'll see it's quite ripply if you can make that out in the video there. So it's certainly not a smooth surface, but about as good as you're going to get it without making a mould. So I got the new water tank sent down, which is good, given that the first one had some faulty thread on it. Now it's time to put the tank in. Not looking forward to this. Well, the old tank's out, didn't take too long. The only hassle was a bit of faffing about trying to get the PEX thing undone. Some of these can be really quite tricky to undo. Then I've got to smash this one up. They asked me to send some evidence of destruction photos, so it'll give me pleasure to cut the bloody thing in half. Alright, there's the old tank. The hose hooked up, new tank's in, and away we go. Can't see any leaks, so I think we're doing well. No drips underneath for a change. Wow, this is amazing. I think I might have actually plugged all the holes. So upholstering the bed has become one of our evening activities now, hence why I'm a little bit slow getting the videos out at the moment. Last couple of cushions are the tricky ones. These are the angle cuts on the sliding base and also the flip up leg support section that goes out towards the door. Got these hinges here that go onto the flip up section. Obviously they're quite large and they must be contained within the foam, so I'm just sort of working on this here, just trying to cut out some holes for these to go into. Looks like a lovely Saturday morning. So I had a day of just doing a few little odd bits and pieces here and there, just catching up on all those little things that need to be done. But today I really want to get on to doing the aluminium cladding around the shower. Spend the majority of my day just making up cardboard templates ready to cut out the aluminium composite panels. As always the case, there's not a straight surface in sight and everything has to be cut around things. Close, I need to cut around that wiring harness. Sunday morning, got the last of the bed sections. Put the wheels into the tracks on the sides. Hopefully get that into the slide. Well, there we have it. I don't know if I dare sit on it. I'm wearing my dirty pants from working. Got to try it out. It's a little bit upright. It's not too bad. The base ended up being a little bit short because I went thicker cushions and things. Comfy enough. Got the little chase section over here, which, you know, just that's where I usually end up sitting anyway. Just sit down there and lean up against the back of the van. But basically the way the bed works is that comes up, sits up like that. You then grab the whole thing, slide it across. And there's a support over here on the side of the cupboard just to support that end piece. Push that out as far as it'll go. It bumps up against the cupboard there, and then the back piece comes down like that. Sleeping across, you know, it's about a 175 width on this. Fortunately, I'm about 173 centimeters tall, so I've just got enough room. There's a little bit of a bump out here, or a bit of a curve where it goes out to the windows, so that gives you just a little bit more perceived clearance to your head, so you're not feeling like you're completely cramped up. But my feet will touch the other side when I'm lying flat on my back like this, but most of the time I lie on my side, my legs curved up anyway. It seems to hold my weight, it hasn't collapsed yet. Quite happy with that. So I had the shower base sort of gluing down last night. Put some spray foam underneath just to give it a bit more support because it's such a wide area. The faulty water tank that I had, cut that in half, and that's got about, what, 20 odd litres of water in it. We've then glued down the base and everything, so this was just holding it in place overnight. Making up an extra bracket to go on the back of my cupboards. I've got about 15 compound angles here, 10 degrees that way, a few degrees that way. I'm going to weld this with plastic spaces in there. This is going to end badly. There we go. Drill some holes, put some rib nuts in, bolt it all up. In about an hour's time I'll be finished. So this one will hold the fridge in here, the microwave will be up there, the bikes are actually hanging off the back of it at the top there. So there's a fair bit of weight in that. It is bolted down to a big aluminium frame down the bottom. So there's a lot of structure down there, but on that side there was actually nothing really supporting that to the side, just relying on the strength of the cabinet. Well, that's it on another week. It's 7 o'clock, it's getting a bit antisocial to do any more noisy stuff. We're trying to finish off these panels and it's been in and out about 5 times already. Actually, that's an understatement. It's been out in and out way more than that. Each time you just find that, you know, as you get closer to where it needs to be, a little bit more needs to be trimmed off. Now I've got to trim off this entire edge down here, get the door to shut. As for the inside of the van, we fitted the fridge and microwave. I'll have to show those later because it's dark and you can't see them now. So look out for next week's video. Next week's going to be a short week because we're moving out of the house. It's going to be interesting, and then we'll probably do a video on the current state of the van. All right, thank you. See you all later.